Let's have a look at semi-vowels in English. In this video, I'm only going to talk about semi-vowels in English, not in any other languages. Now, first of all, what are they even? Why are they called semi-vowels? Well, they're really consonant sounds, but we call them semi-vowels because they are very similar to vowel sounds, and I will show you exactly in what way. Now, first of all, you might ask yourself, which are the two semi-vowels that we have in English? And the two that you can find are y and w. So remember, those are sounds, not letters. It's not J and W. Those are two sounds, y and w. Now, they do sound very similar to two vowel sounds in English. Y sounds a little bit like the E, the long E vowel sound, so y, E, and w sounds a little bit similar to the long oo sound, w, oo. Now, they sound very different when we say them in isolation, but within a word, they actually do sound similar. Now, sometimes there's also r. And I just want to highlight that there is no universal definition when it comes to semi-vowel sounds. So you might find that in some books, people also consider r a semi-vowel. It's also sometimes called a glide, a transitional sound between words. So just bear that in mind. And remember also that y, w, and r are special anyway in English because we use them to link words together in connected speech. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, have a look at my other video about that. I'm going to link to it in this video. Now, let's look at these in a bit more detail. So I said these are consonant sounds that are similar to vowel sounds. And you might wonder, in what way are they similar? Now, we need to start, first of all, and ask ourselves, well, how are consonants formed in English? Now, we form consonants usually either by having some closure that we suddenly release in our vocal tract. And you can see an image here of our vocal tract, that is all the area in our mouth, as well as down here to our throat, to our vocal cords. And also, obviously, some sounds are nasal, so you also see the space up your nose and down your throat here. So that is really the vocal tract. So some sounds are formed by forming some sort of closure. For example, p and g. There's closure in some part of the vocal tract, and that is released. And so the sudden release of air produces a sound. Those are called plosives. Sometimes there's also some constriction that causes air turbulence that we can hear. Those are fricatives, for example. Z and f are just two examples, and there are many more. And consonants can be voiced as well as unvoiced. And remember, voiced means that we use our vocal cords. You can see them in the diagram down below. These little black things here that are here in our throat, and when we use them, that produces a voiced sound. So this is really how consonants are formed. Now, what about those semi-vowels, y and w? Are they formed in the same way? Now, let's have a look, first of all, at how vowels are formed, because then you can see how they fit right nicely in the middle between the two. So vowels are usually formed because the vocal tract is usually relatively unrestricted. So there's no closure, there's no air turbulence, no air friction that we can hear. So e, o. So usually the vocal tract is relatively unrestricted, quite open, and also all of the vowel sounds are voiced, always. So that means our vocal cords always vibrate when we produce a vowel sound. So that is really important to remember. So this is how vowels are formed, and before we had a look at how consonants are formed. And so how do the semi-vowels now fit in? So semi-vowels are similar to vowel sounds in a way because here we also have a relatively unrestricted vocal tract. So that means we don't really have any closure or air turbulence. So y, w, There's no proper closure, there's no air friction that we can hear. And also, if you test y, w, they are also both voiced sounds. It means we use our vocal cords and they vibrate, and when you put your hand on your throat, w, y, you can feel the vibration just here very gently behind your throat from the vocal cords. So in a way, they do behave like vowels. So maybe you're thinking, okay, so why are they not just vowels? Well, there's one difference, and that is a very important difference. So bear with me. So why are they not just vowel sounds? Well, they're not, because number one, they're usually shorter than vowel sounds. That is important. But most importantly is the second point, number two, and that is because semi-vowels are non-syllabic. Now, I know this is a bit of a complicated term. You're like, whoa, 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 what does that even mean, non-syllabic? It's easier than it looks. Non-syllabic really means that this sound does not form a syllable. So vowel sounds, if you know a little bit about vowel sounds, you might remember that vowel sounds really form a syllable in English. They always force a syllable to occur. Every syllable in English has exactly one vowel sound at its core. Not more than one, just one, exactly. So every time we have a vowel sound, that means we form a new syllable. That is not the case with y and w. They do not form syllables. So there's always another vowel sound attached to a syllable with y and w. So for example, we have the word yes. Here we have y, our semi-vowel, e, a real vowel, and s, a consonant. And together, yes, this is obviously, it's a word in English, but it also forms a syllable. So that is the real important difference, because remember, a syllable in English consists of one vowel sound and one vowel sound only. And so semi-vowels are not full vowels because they do not make a syllable in English. So hopefully that's clear. So they are exactly sort of in between the consonants and the vowel sounds, and although officially categorized as consonants, often they are called semi-vowel sounds. So here's a little definition summary. So vowel sounds form syllables, but semi-vowel sounds do not, because they are non-syllabic. So hopefully that term is now clear. Let's have a look at some example words with the semi-vowel y. So first of all, here are a number of words, and the y sound is always at the start of the word. You can see we have 3 words, yes, you, and year, where y is always represented by the letter y. But then there's also use and usually, and here y is represented through the letter u. Now, I have added the phonemic transcript underneath, just if you're curious and you want to see what it actually looks like if you were to transcribe the word. And so it's very clear that there's always y plus another vowel, like I just explained before. And in usually, because we have several syllables, and you can see those separated in the phonemic transcript by period marks. So we have u, je, li, and so each of these 3 syllables has its own vowel sound, and the first one has y and u, its vowel sound. So that is the core of the syllable. There are, of course, more words with y, where you can find y in the middle as well. So here are a few examples. We have the word music. So we have m, y, u, music. Communicate. So in both of those words, again, y is actually represented through the u letter. Then we also have few and also opinion. So these are quite interesting because in both of those words, the y is represented through very different letters. And I'm sure you know all these words, and you might have not been aware that they all contain the sound y. music, communicate, few, and opinion. Now here are some example words with the sound w. So we have, for example, well, where, work, one, and one. Now the last two actually sound the same, they're homophones. They are spelled differently, they have a different meaning, but the sound is exactly the same. Both times we have w, a, n, one for the past form of to win, the verb, and also one as in 1, 2, 3. So here are examples. All of them contain w. But as you can see, they're all one-syllable words, and they also contain another proper vowel sound. So we've got in well, air, a diphthong in where, in work, in one, and one again. So all of those have the semi-vowel w and a vowel sound as well. Here are some more examples with w, where you can find w in the middle. For example, everyone, question, between. So very often w is represented by the letter W, but not always. So sometimes you might also see the letter O, and in question it's a QU. So those together form a qu sound. So the k and the w go together here really. Now remember, w and y are both used in connected speech to link words together in English. And to link words together, so that means across word boundaries from one word to the next. Now, if you want to find out more, make sure you watch my video on assimilation, intrusion, and elision in connected speech. I will link to it in this video. Now, what about r? We mentioned this at the start of the video, and as I said, there is no universal definition really that everyone agrees on when it comes to semi-vowels. Some people consider it a semi-vowel. Most people will call it a glide. A glide is a transitional sound, again used between word boundaries to link words together, to transition from one word to the next. And this is often done in connection with a vowel sound. So here I've given you an example of a schwa, together with r. And here the r is slightly elevated. As you can see, it's not the same size as the schwa sound in my transcript. Now, this is also sometimes called an R-colored vowel. Now, this is a whole big topic on its own, and I will dedicate a separate video to it. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that video. That will come very soon.